One of the conversations that we have with buyers, especially in this market, is about will the owners take such and such offer? And obviously we cannot say yes, we cannot say no, and our encouragement is always to let's try, let's put it on paper and see what the owners say. But many times the buyers will tell us, hey, look, why don't you, I don't want to waste time. I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste the owner's time. Why don't you just give the owners a call, tell them this is what I want to offer and see what they say. And obviously when the buyers do this, they're trying to gauge the owner. They're trying to see if their bargain price is going to happen. And what we do as salespeople is try to move this and say something along the lines of, hey, look, anything that is not on paper, there's a good chance that the owners will say no, but once it's on paper, the owners will think that it is more serious and consider it. So why don't we put it on paper and see what the owners will say? And at that point, the buyers will begin to push back or say, hey, look, that's fine, let's not go there, I don't want to waste my time. And what I would like you to consider is that because we know this is going to happen a lot, especially in this market, is to preempt that objection in our conversations with our vendors. And what I mean by this is that at the point of listing, we sit with the owners and tell them, look, Mr. and Mrs. Vendor, a lot of times, especially in this market, buyers will come to us and say, hey, look, ask the owners if they will accept such and such offer. And obviously, conversations like this are not real offers and we want to get them on paper. But if I try and get them on paper, many times they will try and fight me. What I would like to do, Mr. and Mrs. Vendor, is that whenever I get into a conversation like this with a buyer, to immediately call you and ask you. And all I want you to do is tell me, look, if it's on paper, I will look at it. And obviously, if it's on paper, I will look at it. Doesn't say, Mr. and Mrs. Vendor, that you will accept it, that you're committing, but that you will look at it. And at that point, I can go to the buyer and say, hey, look, you see, that's what the owners say, and we can get them on paper. Some of those offers are obviously not going to go anywhere, but we want to try and get as many offers as we can for your property. So the minute we preempt this with the vendors and we prepare them to this, whenever we have that conversations with the buyers, we can say, hey, look, let me just give the owners a call right now and see what they say. We call the owners are already prepared for this, they know what to say, and they will tell us, hey, look, bring it on paper and I will consider it. And at that point, we can turn to the buyer and say, hey, look, you heard that, let's put it on paper. So preempt those objections, as many of those objections as we can in conversations with the vendors, and prepare them, and that will help us get those offers on paper.